Hey, it's Mayush, Soul Diva Lebanese, and this is Lebanese Soul Diva Confessions Part 10. So today I want to talk about singing, self-sabotage, feminine vulnerability, and intentions for 2025. So let's just get into this. First of all, welcome to my childhood bedroom. Here we are in Hyde Park, outside of Chicago, Illinois, 773, shout out. I'm home for the holidays, of course. Yesterday was Christmas, a really, really weird, lazy day. And I had a pretty good Christmas. I asked for a prayer mat for Christmas, which my sister-in-law did the kindness of granting me that wish, and it has my name on it. And it's my very first prayer mat because I'm kind of in the process of reverting to Islam. Anyway, so yeah, 2024 was such a beautiful year, y'all. I had a show recently in downtown LA. It was like my first real performance in Los Angeles. Breaking Sound had reached out to me kind of randomly to perform. I had never even really applied with them. They just found me. A lot of people have just been finding me since I moved to LA, which is really weird because I don't have a big following at all. I think I have 2,100 followers or something. I love every single one of you, by the way. And Real Love, my song Real Love went viral this year out of nowhere. I wasn't even paying attention. One day I just checked my Spotify, almost 600 monthly listeners. Usually I've only had 20 monthly listeners. So that was such a blessing because I just wasn't even thinking about that. So that's probably how they found me, honestly. So Breaking Sound had reached out to me about a show, and I almost said no because I was kind of sick. And I had gotten sick a month earlier. I actually joined this 30-day challenge with a vocal instructor, Arden Kaywin. She had a free challenge for the graduates of her intensive program that I did last year that totally changed my life. And so I was making really significant headway in my singing career. And something that happens to me when I really start to have major breakthroughs in my career is that I will get physically sick. I'll get a cold and my vocal cords will become attacked. It's literally shaitan because he doesn't want my music to come out. By the way, if you guys don't know, I make Arabic fusion soul music, and the whole premise behind my music is kind of trying to infuse godly values into worldly music. My music taste is very much of the world. I love Drake, I love Kehlani, I love hip-hop, Nas, music that's of the world, pretty much. Impactful music for the most part, revolutionary for the most part, but I don't know how revolutionary Drake is. Love him though. His whole team is Lebanese, so that's a revolution to me, and he's the biggest artist on the planet, so that to me is his revolutionary impact. His music just, he doesn't miss, honestly. And it's my dream to low-key be mentored by their team, but it's not that serious of a dream because I'll be fine either way. God has got me. So even though I was kind of sick, I was okay, fuck it, let me take this Breaking Sound show. And then I basically went on a juice cleanse for a week and didn't eat anything except juice to try to miraculously heal my body in time for the show, which I was relatively successful at because I played a really good show. I had 5 songs. My cheetahs and my cheetah girls showed up and showed out for me. And so played this great show. Had this engineer on my vocal chain for me, who I literally met the day of, and we ended up having a really good bond. Definitely gonna work together again because he loved my voice. I performed at this set, right? Everyone was oh my god, you can sing. You can sing, girl. You can really sing your ass off. Oh my god, you have an amazing voice. Even people that wouldn't ordinarily compliment me or give me praise were damn, you can really sing. You have a really good voice. Wow. So it was crazy because honestly, they would say that to me and I would literally just be like, really? Like I do? Like I can sing? Like I have a good voice? Because I think honestly, I just grew up feeling like I couldn't really sing. I was actually kind of grew up being told that I couldn't really sing. Cause you know, families like they don't crush your dreams like to hurt you. They crush your dreams because they love you so much and they want to protect you. And I think that's like the same thing my body has been doing while I get sick, is like trying to protect me from embarrassing myself or like ostracization, social ostracization or whatever. But I've like just kind of like pushed past those limiting beliefs and my body's defense mechanisms for like years now, to the point where like I'm actually a pretty amazing singer now. So alhamdulillah, I can sing and it gave me so much confidence. The people that showed up for me for that event, like I love y'all so much. Y'all are definitely not watching this, and I told you this in person, how grateful I am. But what I failed to mention, and I had like wanted to mention this like during my set, was that when I lived in Chicago, I would invite people to my sets and no one would come. My friends would be like, yeah, I'm coming. And then nobody would come. It really hurt. It really broke my spirit, you know? Just having people show up for me in LA after only being there for 9 months, whereas like I had been in Chicago for like 6 years, like attempting to build like a community in LA for 9 months, and like I had people there in my community to like reflect back like my talent to me, you know, because sometimes you really need people that are more like objective to be like, you're really talented, because sometimes your own self-belief just isn't enough. So honestly, such a culmination of how 2024 was such a major blessing for me, and honestly just the most life-changing special year of my life, and I'm so grateful. So as soon as I got back home to Chicago, I headed straight to Ambercita's studio to shoot the cover for my song Genie, which is not out yet. It's part of like the last 2 songs that are gonna be on my EP Ruled by the Moon, which is mostly my music that has already been released. And then there's like two, like the, in my opinion, the best 2 records besides Number One Girl and Real Love. I don't know. They're all pretty good. They're all good. I love them all. And 773. So Genie and Dreams are the last 2 records on the EP that I'm like still finishing up recording, but I wanted to like do the shoot with Ambercita, and we were shooting, and I was like looking at the photos, and I realized this like outfit that I knew was like a little bit like I never would have worn it like outside, but I figured like, oh, for a shoot, like it's okay, like you're not gonna see that much skin. Because I'm not really like I'm actually trying to like make it so that my personal brand, I'm showing as little skin as possible, because showing skin and like being Zantara is just not really resonating with me anymore, and it's not really resonating with my message. You know, this past year I kind of made an effort, you know, at the end of 2022 I decided like I'm gonna be a wife, so like I'm gonna start dressing like a wife, changing my wardrobe to be a wife. And so I feel like I've like mastered the art of dressing every day more conservatively. But what now I'm struggling to like make the transition is like my artistry and like my stage outfit. How do I make those sexy, something I'm comfortable with and resonates with me? The message of the song Genie, talking about celibacy, gatekeeper, I must protect my body, and drape me in gold because I'm a queen. So I went to the store to buy some fabrics to like drape myself in and like cover up. And I'm hoping that we will be able to reshoot before I leave, inshallah. She's a little sick right now, so I'm praying on my little prayer mat. Yeah, so that's where my music career is at in 2025. At the start of 2025, I'm planning to, when I release my EP, I also want to launch a crowdfunding campaign, because I'm trying to make the next album, which is going to be called Caramel. And actually like the song Entertain is like on Caramel. And it's like not gonna even be on the most recent release. On the next EP. Entertain was actually premature release for me. That song is like super savage, you know? And while I stand by the message of that song, I was releasing it at a time while God was giving me an ego death, basically. I met the man of my dreams in 2024 in LA. Before I moved to LA, I had been praying every single day, like, to meet the man of my dreams. I was sitting in meditation for like 30 minutes every single day, talking to God, praying, feeling the feeling of this man, feeling, you know, what it would be like to be in his presence and be in his arms and feminine, you know? And I met him in 2024, manifested him, I guess. And not only was this man everything that I had prayed for and envisioned, but he was so much more. He exceeded my expectations in such a way that I literally short-circuited, y'all. Like, I quite literally crashed out. Meet marra, حلقت له, because I wasn't prepared. Emotionally, spiritually, all of my triggers came up. All of my fear came up. I just like pushed this person away and was objectively not that kind. Definitely not that feminine, you know, not that like feminine, soft, safe place that God knows of me. I really had my guard up pretty much all year. You know, I would pray about it and God would confirm, yes, this is the person that I want for you. I just spent all of my time pretty much like questioning that and like questioning God, disbelieving God for what he said. And so I continued to like push this person away. He would push me away. The most humbling year, because like I said, I was releasing a song that was like very egoic, and while I totally stand by the message that I needed to learn at that time, like I had already mastered the art of boundaries, I guess, at this point. Really like came in with the boundaries, right? I'm always talking about fairy tales and like how we need to demand fairy tales from our men and like make marriage and commitment the floor and the bare minimum as opposed to ceiling. And the thing that's so important about fairy tale princesses is not only their boundaries, but it's their feminine softness, their faith and their self-assuredness and their fearlessness and their confidence, you know? They don't meet fairy tale princesses and a man like rescues them from the tower. They're not like, oh, you don't really like me though, like you're gonna hurt me. They literally flow with life. Like they trust God, like they trust the man, like they greet him with feminine softness. Like they are a safe landing place for that man after his tough battle to rescue her. So this was something I really failed to embody this year, that feminine softness, that being like a soft and safe place within myself for the man that I want. Honestly, y'all, went on so many dates this year despite knowing there was only one man that I really wanted, and just kind of had to witness myself embody that princess, that soft, vulnerable, like fairy tale princess in a way that was inauthentic, you know? It was just so painful to be like, I'm mastered at embodied this with men that don't make me feel all these emotions, you know, that I don't feel anything for. But then with a man that I have deep feelings for, I'm literally like a scared, triggered cat. I'm not a cheetah, like I'm not fierce, I'm not confident, I'm not regal. I'm scared and terrified. Will run and will scratch and push away the very thing that I want to draw close to me. I watched myself do this so many times this year. And I honestly, it's like very difficult for me to like admit that online, especially knowing that like anyone could see this, you know? I kept this to myself all year. And I just felt like Soul Diva Confessions would be incomplete and inaccurate without me coming on here to admit that, I believe in everything that I teach, but just because I know those things to be true, and I know how a feminine woman is intended to attract a man. I know how to attract a man. I think we all can relate knowing how to attract a man, but not knowing how to attract the right man, because when the stakes are actually high, when you actually care, it's a whole different ball game. So my goals for 2025 are surrender to Allah, make myself a safe place, have faith in my desires, and have faith in myself, and have faith in the man that I want to pursue me, and regardless of outcome, regardless of other people's actions, or regardless of what happens, if I can embody that soft fairy tale princess that I know that I am, and that Allah knows that I am, to be vulnerable and soft and feminine, that was really not ever something that I witnessed from my family growing up, or that felt safe to be. But I feel 2025 will be a smashing success if I can surrender, create space around myself, be a safe space within myself, soft, quieter. I can attest, and this year really showed me firsthand that anytime I'm loud, have my guard up on the outside, that's when I'm the most afraid, and I'm the most weak. And when I'm quiet and soft on the outside but embodying strength within, that to me is true femininity and true strength. That's when I feel the strongest, because that's when I'm resting in my feminine power. So for me, 2025, I have my goals for my music career, and I have my to-do list, but the most important thing for me right now is pleasing Allah in my embodiment, and relaxing in my feminine energy, because in 2024, there are so many ways that I surrendered, and this was the best year of my life, not because of circumstances and events, but because of the quiet moments of confirmation from God, or whispers from God, or interactions with my community that was from God, that He put me in and He led me to. Because He literally told me before I came to LA, your soul tribe is in LA, go there. Everyone you are looking for and have been looking for your whole life is in LA right now, go. And Allah, when God tells me something, He's never lying. He's always true. And I guess this year is just me doubling down on believing Him and having faith in Him, and being vulnerable, and choosing what's from me, and not doubting what's from me, and not running away, and not hurting, and playing games, and just having faith, and being soft, and being vulnerable, and not chasing, but also not being guarded, just being. And I'm so excited because again, just being in Chicago, I'm just seeing how that's so not the culture of my family, just to be and rest and do less. So I wish you guys a happy 2025, and thanks for listening. And I'm so excited for the next chapters, the next season of my life, and the next season of Soul Diva Confessions. Life is really beautiful right now. A little bit painful, a little bit hard, some unknown, some fear that I still have deep within me that I need to transmute. But I'm just so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to connect with you guys. I'm so grateful to have the platform that I do, and to make the music that I do. Thank you so much for all of your support, and get ready for new music and new embodiments in 2024 and 2025. I love you so much. Again, my name is Mayush. I'm the Lebanese Soul Diva, and you watching this are my cheetahs and my cheetah girls, and I'm absolutely growing with you guys. I'm not 100% embodied in everything I teach. I make these videos for myself first and foremost, because during the editing process, when I'm replaying this 100 times, I am like forced to like listen, and then through that process is when I start to embody it. It's really my reminders and my accountability. And yeah, the thing I want to be accountable for in 2025 is to keep my heart open despite society and, you know, my ego telling me to close my heart, and to be safe, to be a soft and safe place for everyone in my life, and to like hold the pose of feminine vulnerability despite my ego and despite like my fear and everything in the world telling me to close my heart, put up my masculine shields. So yeah, I love you guys. Happy New Year.